Hey there folks. In a previous video we created this damage causing actor, and when we walked in and kept on walking back and forth, we would take damage until we died, and then we would respawn back at our starting location. What we're going to do in this video is we're going to look at just extending this out and say, what about if we wanted our health to go in the opposite direction? What if we wanted to heal our character? And how could we actually extend out this damage causing volume? So instead of just being a thing that does 25 damage, we can create a whole bunch of different options that have, different damage amounts, some heal, some cause damage, and all the different options available to us when it comes to making dynamic damage causing elements for our game. So here inside of my damage causer, we've obviously got our begin overlap event. We check whether the actor, so the character in this instance, we're going to check whether they have the tag player. If they do, we're going to then apply some damage to them. Now, this is where we've got some interesting things that we can do with this. We've seen that base damage, we have made it a public variable, so instance editable, and we've set it at 25. Now, what about if I was to drag a different one of these out into my world and I actually set it to minus 25? Well, if I walk into the one on this side, 75, walk into here, 100, 75, 50, 25, 50, 75, 100. And also it should clamp us at 100. It shouldn't let us keep on healing. Now, why is that happening? Well, to understand that, we need to come through to our base character and have a look at the math that's going on here. Remember, the damage value is the value that's being fed here. If this is a minus number, then what we're saying is current health minus 25. And a negative number subtracted a negative number is actually going to be an addition. So we're saying here, actually, by passing through a negative number in our damage, we're saying current health plus that amount. And that's allowing us here essentially to create ourselves a healing volume. Now, what we could do is we could go to our content drawer and we can say, okay, well, this one is our damage causer, and that would be great. But what about if we actually wanted to make this a little bit more reusable? We could duplicate it and have a damage one and a healing one. But I would like to potentially have lots and lots of versions of these that all come from this main damage causer. And if I change the main damage causer's functionality, all of my damage causer's functionality changes. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to go through and maybe just make this a little bit more generic and modular for us. So the first one I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this variable. So rather than it saying base damage, I'm going to say amount. Yeah, and then that's going to mean that it could be the amount of damage, but it also could be the amount of healing. I'm also going to add in a new Boolean, and I'm going to maybe call this one is healing. And the intention with this is I can now say, okay, well, is this a healing amount that I am passing through? If I am passing through something that should be healing, then maybe I need to make this value negative. So we can get this, and let's say we use a select node. So you notice there I've got select float, and I'm dragging backwards off of the base damage to get that. So now it's saying we can choose between this float value and this float value here, and I'm going to use this one is healing to choose whether it should be A or B. So if it is healing, if it's true, we should pick A, and if not, it should be B. Now, easy enough here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that one and I'm going to multiply it, and we'll multiply it by -1, and that's going to mean that I can say, okay, if it is -1, or if it's an amount here, I can multiply it by -1, and that will make it into a negative value. That will essentially make it into a healing value, and then that will get fed through here. Otherwise, it goes through as B, and it'll just go through as the damage amount. Now, some other things we might need to think about this amount here. Well, what we actually have is the ability to put in any value. So here on this slider range and value range, we might want to default those to have a minimum value of 0, so we can't go into negatives. That maybe prevents the designer from going and doing something like what I've got here, because now I can't necessarily go in here and start putting in -25 because it'll always default to 0 as the minimum. 0 as a minimum is a bit of a problem. So maybe we'll want to say 1, because remember, if we pass through 0 damage, it's not actually going to work. So we can say we always do a minimum of 1 damage here. Yep, so let's go with -25 again. Notice it defaults to that 1 value. Why are we not seeing the healing? Well, the healing, we just also need to make that instance editable. And let's go back over to here and we see, is it healing? If it's healing, it can be ticked. We'll say it's going to heal us. Let's go with 15. And now let's just test this out. This one here, 75 damage. And this one here, 65, 80, 95. And it should clamp it to 100. So we've simplified that just a little bit more there, because now we've obviously got ones where we can go through and we say, you know, does it heal me? Yes or no? Well, what about the other things we can do? I'm going to take this construction script, and we haven't really looked at construction script much in the game frameworks tutorials, but the construction script here runs right at the start in the editor as we're moving these things around, as we're placing them. Every time we make a change to it in editor, the construction script will run again. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to drag in this cube, and I'm going to make it have an option depending on whether it is a healing cube, what material it should use over here. Now we're using Polygon Prototype 04. So let's go with set material, and we're going to set the material of our cube. Now you can see it's just added in an extra reference for me, not important. And here I can now go through and start choosing what material it should be. Well, let's use the exact same process here. Let's use a select node. Now this select node isn't as generic as the select float. Instead, we've got a wildcard, and a wildcard means anything can be plugged into here to define these different options. So maybe it's, you know, the type of damage, and we could have frost and fire and things like that, and there's different materials for each one. If we were to take in the is healing, which is a boolean, and plug that into our index, now you can see we've got a false version and a true version. Well, I'm going to go and take this Polygon Prototype 04. This here is the one that makes it the red box. So we're saying, is it healing? If it's not, let's use Polygon Prototype 04 in there. And if I remember correctly, just go into here, Polygon Prototype 02 is the one that is green. So what we can now do is we can go into that construction script and say, let's use Polygon Prototype, which one was it? Polygon Prototype, and we'll go with 02 for that one. And let's see what that actually does. Well, now if I was to just compile all that and connect this up, and just going to have a look at the one in the level, you can see this one here has automatically become green. And depending on whether it's a is healing or not, it will either be a red one or a green one. So really quickly, for prototyping out those systems, I can show the player, I can show my designer, is this a healing volume? If it is a healing volume, we know it's going to add this amount to it. If it's not a healing volume, it's going to be red, and it's going to be deducting that amount from it. Okay, so there's one more thing that we're going to look at doing just to extend these out a little bit more. And that is going to be actually creating something that inherits and changes these. So this one is going to be our damage causer. Let's just go with this one actually being the base damage causer. And now what I can do is I can right click this, and I can create a new child blueprint class. So that is going to be something that is a child of this. It's going to inherit all of the functionality, all of the variables, every option that this one has. And we'll call this one the BP healing actor or healing volume. Now, it looks exactly the same, but here we can go in and we can start actually editing. You see over here in the details, we've got all the same components and all the same variables, but we can actually edit these default values and say, well, I want this one to be healing, and I want it to be 15 that it heals for. Okay, and now I've got my construction script functionality, I've got my overlap and damage functionality. All of that exists in here as well. Even though you can't see it in the event graph, you can see it's doing whatever the parent does. So it still runs whatever the parent functionality does, but I can now come into my content drawer and I can just drag in healing volumes. So this one drags in and it is automatically set to healing and automatically set to 15. Thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider subscribing to access more of my Unreal Engine content.